Hey guys, we're here at Flagler College and we're going to get a little sneak peek. The students come back tomorrow, is that right?
Yes.
We're here with Beth Sweeney. And Beth, what's your title?
I'm the Director of External and Government Relations.
Okay, that's why I had her say it because I knew I'd mess it up. And we have Reese Davis with A.D. Davis Construction. Reese, how you doing today?
Doing good.
All right.
Appreciate it.
All right, appreciate you guys. You guys did a lot of amazing work in here. You guys have been working to meet the deadline to get the kids, get it done before the kids are here. Congratulations to both of you making this happen.
Reese gets all the credit.
So just an amazing job. How long did it take from start to finish on this particular job?
So we started last May, so May of 24.
On the west side.
On the west side, correct.
Yeah.
So on the second phase, May of 24 till now. On the east side, we started in July of 22, finished that August of 24. So all in all, it's been roughly a 3-year process.
Yeah, and the process started with almost a disaster type situation. And luckily, no one was here.
Yes.
On the east side of the building. Can you explain how it started? Like this renovation was needed,
Yes.
but it became an emergency at that point. So can you explain a little bit about that?
We had, it was on the 4th of July in 2022 where we had a water pipe burst and it flooded many rooms. And we kind of say it was a blessing in disguise for the college because when that happened, we had to open up the walls really for the first time, I think, since it's been a college, and just found a lot of work that needed to be done just to ensure that this building is here for another 100 years and that it continues to serve the college and our students and the community.
Yeah. And Reese, you were on both projects, correct?
Yes, yeah. So we were here that summer of 22 when that pipe burst. We worked all summer to try to take off the 4th of July, which we did, and then came back the 5th and basically saw what had happened. And at that point, I think it took about 10 days for the college to decide we were going to take the whole East Wing offline for one school year, with a hard deadline of August of 23 being done.
Similar to the time frame we're at right now.
Yeah.
And making sure the kids have a place to sleep that are planning on being here.
Exactly. There was never really a plan B.
All right.
We had to meet that date.
And it rarely is when something like that happens. But from the east to the west side, you did both improvements. What was the biggest difference between the two?
Building materials, honestly. So west side, we had a little bit of time to plan. We knew that was coming for about a year. East side, we had a planning period of roughly a month and a half, maybe, and then it was just go. So we were working on some of the east side components. We met with the building department at the city and were able to get their blessing to kind of start work before we even had drawings. And then we were submitting drawings as we were getting them completed. West side, we had drawings for a good 9 months before we ever started. And so a little bit more time to figure out where we were getting all of our material from, planning out how we were going to kind of execute the project, whereas the East was we put a plan together and we just had to make it work. There was
and I did a walkthrough, Blake and I did a couple months ago, and it's amazing what you guys and how many people you had here. But let's go inside and see some of these improvements.
Absolutely.
Hey guys, we're now in the dining hall at Flagler College. They have a brand new chandelier that's not brand new. So it is a reproduction or a replica, I guess, of what was the chandelier when the hotel first opened. And it came down shortly, like a couple years afterwards, because it didn't produce enough light. And that's how the lions around the dining hall came to be. But tell us a little bit about, it's a local artist, isn't that right?
Yes, yeah. The college and us worked with a guy named Blaze Morrell, who put this all together, provided all the chandelier accessories, the lifts. So basically this thing will come down so they can change any of the light bulbs, do any maintenance on it from time to time.
So it has a hydraulic to allow it to lower and have maintenance on it.
Yes, sir. So they're not bringing a lift in here every time they've got to get up to it. So yeah, they did a great job. Installed it in about a week. And
All right. Beth, can you talk to us a little bit about the room we're in right now? Because I mean, you got Blake and I both are graduates of
Me
Flagler,
too.
so you're a grad. He's the only
I'm
one left
only
out over here.
non-alum.
Yeah, he's a Belmont guy, right? He's a Belmont guy. But can you tell us a little bit about this room? And even the chairs have history
Mhm.
to it that can kind of explain what we're in, because it really on camera it's not going to show the true beauty of this room.
Yeah, so this is the grand ballroom, and which is now our dining hall. Well, and I think it served as the dining area when it was a hotel as well. These chairs are replicas. Most of them are replicas. We do still have a few originals scattered throughout the space, but they are mostly replicas of the original chairs. But they're very very similar. And this room contains the largest collection of Tiffany stained glass that is in its original place in the world. So it's really just an irreplaceable space. It's one of a kind. This dining room has been named one of the top 10 most beautiful dining halls in the world. And so we are just very proud of this space.
Yeah, it's beautiful, and I've done events in here, and obviously when I was in college, we dined in here. But you guys have made so many improvements since the
Hmm.
'80s in here, and AD Davis has been a big part of it. When I walk in this room, there's a lot of nostalgia, and I go back to 1888. And one of the unique things about this room is it was designed for sound where you can hear across the entire area. And it's amazing how they handled the sound in those days.
Yeah, you can be sitting on one side. I remember when I was a student, you can be sitting on one side and all of a sudden hear a conversation in kind of your ear that's happening on the other side of the room. And I've heard stories that Henry Flagler used that very strategically and would place people in those areas that he wanted to listen in on their conversations so that he could hear them.
Yeah, it makes sense. It's a beautiful room. Where do you want to go next
Yeah,
to show us some of the great work of A.D. Davis?
let's head to the Flagler room and we'll show you. It just kind of got a little bit of a facelift, and we're still waiting on the artwork and the furniture to be reinstalled, but we can show you that space quick.
Awesome. Hey, we're here in the Grand Parlor at Flagler College. It was the Grand Parlor. It's where Henry Flagler did a lot of hosting and a lot of his parties in this area. We got this beautiful fireplace behind us. They're still moving in furniture. It's not going to be ready until closer to the end of September. But can you talk to me? I mean, it was an amazing story you were giving us about these chandeliers,
Mhm.
like who created them, and the similarities of other chandeliers like this.
Yeah, so the chandeliers that hang in this room are one of a kind. They were designed by Tiffany as well. In addition to the stained glass, these chandeliers were done as part of this restoration and renovation project. All the chandeliers were removed and were sent off to a company to fix any little, wear and tear that's happened to them over the years. They cleaned them and just fully restored these chandeliers. And it's the same company that does work on the chandeliers in the White House. So we really had to bring in all of the experts across the country for this project.
Yeah, I mean, and even the crown molding here just tells you of the time and that golden age.
Yeah, we're very thankful to our partners too with IFAX, the International Fine Arts Conservatory, who has done just all of the beautiful restoration work in this building for years and years, and we're just a key partner in this project. And they did all the touch-up work and fixing any little, things that have worn down over the years. And so they've been a constant partner in this project too.
Right. Now, Reese, you're the project manager over here. Now, you guys had to do something very unique to make sure we protected the ceiling that is beautiful in itself. It's a piece of art. Last time I was in here, there was like mattresses pushed up against because a lot of the heavy construction was above.
Yes.
So, how did you guys come up with that plan, and how successful was that plan?
That was very successful. So basically, all the work that had to happen up above the ceiling, we worked with our structural engineer, our contacts with IFAX, who helped us restore everything after we got done with the work above, scaffold company, and then kind of just our input as well. And so we met probably 5, 6 times before we ever implemented anything. But we wound up with roughly like 75 scaffold towers. On the top of each tower was an air mattress and then a layer of foam. And then basically in between each tower for that shoring was netting. And so we kept everything roughly like 2 to 3 inches off of the ceiling. So we weren't pushing back up
No
on it.
pressure on it.
Exactly.
Okay.
But our main goal was we knew we weren't going to get out 100% unscathed. We knew IFAX was going to have to do some work at the tail end to restore everything. But we were trying to make it as simple on them as possible. And so we had, a handful of things that came loose from the ceiling. But because we had the netting, the air mattresses,
You were able to protect it. It didn't break apart.
Correct.
You were able to.
Fell, a couple inches as opposed to 12, 13 feet and shattering.
You could put it right back in
So
place.
we were.
That was brilliant. When I was in here, I was like, oh my gosh, that's just good, great in the field engineering, and I absolutely loved it. Now,
Yes.
Beth, tell me about the wall color. You said it went back to the original wall color.
Yes.
So,
Our partners with IFAX, again, they had a paint analysis done on the walls and were able to determine what the original paint color in the room was. And so we have taken it back to the original wall color, which we're really excited. A lot of this project has really been about trying to, stay true to the original integrity and historic nature of the building. And so we're excited to be able to do that.
all right, a majority of the construction happened in the dorm rooms
Yes.
on the west side. And I was able to do some walkthroughs, and it looks like a lot of great creative space. The mechanicals of the air conditioning seem to be a really big challenge. I don't know, are we going to be able to see any of that? Because I saw that one mechanical room,
Yeah.
and that to me, I was like, how the heck did Reese pull this off? So I want to be able to get in there. If we can get in there and see that would
let's
be
go
wonderful.
up to the residential spaces. There's lots of really great features that we are excited to show you.
Yeah, and the character in there is also amazing.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's head upstairs.
So we're here standing amongst these giant iron beams that were discovered during the renovation project that we decided to leave exposed so that the students can learn about the history. Reese can talk about kind of the engineering that they support the Flagler room below us. But I'll tell you a little bit about the history. So the manufacturer of these beams, and you can see the stamp on them, is a New York-based company that was really significant at the time. They did the work on the base of the Statue of Liberty. They did work on the Brooklyn Bridge. And so again, it's just another example of Henry Flagler bringing in the very best in the country to put this building together in the Gilded Age.
So Reese, when you guys discovered this, this is pretty incredible. When you're in an old building, you never know what you're going to find. Your company's done so many, and we found some amazing things. When you found this, what was your first reaction like?
That it wasn't coquina. So on the east side, these exact walls basically ran to the end of this hall. They were coquina formed and poured. We were really expecting to see the same exact thing over here. The building mirrors itself from east to west. When we got over here and started uncovering it and found these, we were like, oh, okay.
This is different.
Completely different. So some of our shoring of what we had to do structurally kind of shifted, and then the college came to us and was like, we want to keep these exposed. And we met trying to figure out how to make it look, one, intentional, and two, like it, was planned from the beginning. How it turned out is, better than we could have ever expected.
It's my favorite feature as part of the renovation. Yeah. It's just stunning.
It's beautiful. I love the fact that it has so much history tied to it, and you guys were able to share it with the students. It really is a special feature in this renovation. We're going to try and get into one of the rooms.
Yeah.
And, I want to get with you on some of the logistics of how you were able to, these chandeliers are beautiful, and how you were able to even find them and source them.
Yes.
Sometimes in construction, sourcing is a big challenge on a project like this. It had to be horrible.
Yeah, absolutely. So these chandeliers we actually found when we were doing the east side. So there's a couple of them over there. when we started the West, we found out they were discontinuing these, and one of our biggest goals with this whole project was we wanted things from East and West to match. Through the years, there were so many renovations that just took place in small sections of this building that nothing matched, and so from maintenance and just day to day logistics for the college, it is so much easier to maintain something that you walk into a room and it's the same as the classroom you were in. So when
it definitely helps on parts.
yes, exactly. So when we started the West, we found out they were discontinuing these. I think there was 5 or 6 left in stock, and we just ordered them all because we didn't know where we were going to use them. So now the college does have, I think, 1 or 2 extra spares if they want to use them somewhere else. But just ordering stuff early and making sure it's here when you need it was key for us with keeping the schedule.
All right, let's go see if we can get into one of the rooms.
Yeah, awesome.
All right, we're now in one of the beautiful renovated rooms here at Flagler on the West Ponce Hall, on the first floor. This room is beautiful and stunning, and a lot of things people don't realize about the rooms here at the Ponce. A lot of the fireplaces are here from when it was a hotel, and you guys pulled out the mantle and the tile stayed, but you guys completely redid and sent these out, and it's stunning and beautiful. Explain how that process worked.
Yes. So John Valdez and Associates, they are the ones that pretty much pull all of the mantles. The first week and a half we were here. From there, it went to Tom McDonald and Lhasa, I believe, were the 2 that actually restored them. So I think they rehydrated the wood, touched up any sort of nicks and dings through the years, and then when it came time for us to reinstall all of the mantles, mostly for the most part, Valdez was the one that came in here and reinstalled them all. There's a guy named Marty and his wife who did all the tile restoration.
It's absolutely stunning.
Yes.
So one of the unique things about Ponce Hall is the rooms. If we go from room to room, they look completely different. They're shaped different. Behind Blake, we have this brick exposed, and you said it's very similar on the east side, but over here you were able to make it a feature because you did have that time.
Correct.
But it kind of shows the character of what the hotel was and still is with what you're doing and what Flagler College is doing, making sure they're making all the savings. But this is what a double room looks like, single beds.
This one will actually be a triple.
It'll be a
we
triple.
have it staged
Okay.
right now for a photo shoot.
Okay.
But it will be.
Very spacious.
It's a very big room. I think back when I was a student here, this probably would have had 5 or 6 girls in it. But now it's a triple. And lots of closet space, and then they have all the rooms, pretty much all the rooms as part of this renovation to have their own bathrooms now. So they used to be a lot of Jack and Jill style restrooms where you would share with your suite mates. So no longer, pretty much all the rooms have their own now, which is a really big upgrade for our students.
That's a huge upgrade. That's a huge upgrade because Blake can attest his suite mates weren't always his favorite.
Yeah.
But a lot of times the bathrooms were on this side, but if we walk over here and we can see, and Reese, if you can come with me, the bathroom is raised up. I'm assuming that's for the mechanicals.
The bathrooms being raised up is actually, it only takes place over the Flagler room. So we didn't have enough
okay. For the plumbing. So that's what I'm saying, for the mechanicals, for the plumbing and the water source to get in here. So this is only over this particular section of the hotel.
Correct. So
okay.
We're going to lower the Flagler room ceiling, obviously.
No, and we didn't want you to. We're glad you didn't do that. But I'm glad to hear that that's, the other rooms don't have this in every single one, because that would have been an absolute nightmare for you if that was every single room.
Yes. So it's like 8 bathrooms that have it over the Flagler room. And then basically underneath where we're standing right now, standing above the Flagler room, we basically waterproofed and created like a tub. So under each platform, fully waterproofed, under all this flooring, wraps up the walls, fully waterproof. So if they're ever
just to protect,
Yeah.
I mean,
So that Flagler room is fully protected
and
now.
the artwork's not back in there, but I mean, the artwork when it
The
goes back
ceiling
in,
is priceless. The artwork is priceless.
it's
Yes.
absolutely incredible. Anything we left out, you guys?
I do want to show you one other room with a fireplace because we did. There were a few fireplaces that our partners with IFAX did that same paint analysis, took it back to the original paint. They're really just stunning works of art, and so I'd love to show you one of those.
Oh, we would love to see that. So
Yeah.
that's great. Let's go check
Yeah.
out the fireplace. All right, this is one of the stairways that was replicated. These spindles that you see here match up with what was once here when it was the Ponce Hotel. Just every detail mattered during this project, and I'm just so excited. Now, Beth, you wanted to show us this beautiful fireplace, but it kind of starts with the crown molding that brings us around. Can you explain how we came up with this amazing design and then this beautiful, beautiful original fireplace, right?
Yes. So our again, our partners with IFAX were, I think, kind of the leaders on this, and they, Reese and his team put in this crown molding, and then they painted it to kind of flow into this just stunning fireplace. This is another one of those original fireplaces that IFAX did the paint study on. I think they went through 12 different layers of paint to determine the original color. And so then they brought in, it was made with linseed oil paint, and they were able to recreate it and bring it back. There's gold leaf around the mirror. And so really, again, just restoring these beautiful fireplaces to what they originally looked like when this was a hotel. And now some lucky students get to enjoy this every single day.
All right, and I know there's some myths out there, and I've done some studies on Henry Flagler. But the cherubs, they're here. Can you tell us they're throughout the hotel, throughout the college?
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me a little bit of the history of where that comes from, or do you guys have?
We probably do. I don't know the details on the history of the cherubs. There's quite a few different kind of themes throughout the ponds for the decor. Definitely the cherubs are one of those themes. There's a lot of nautical theming too. You'll see seashells, and there's some hidden lobsters in the rotunda if you've never noticed that. So there's a couple of different themes. There's a religious theme. The courtyard is shaped like a Celtic cross. And so there's a few different architectural themes that happen throughout the building.
And one of the things when I was reading about Henry Flagler is he felt only God was perfect. So he would purposely make mistakes.
Yeah.
So I mean, when I'm looking at this one cherub's head being tilted, that was probably intentional. And the other thing I heard about the cherubs is he lost a child in childbirth, and it might have created some of that, dedication to what it was here.
There's lots of little details. You mentioned the imperfections. There's lots of little details in the rotunda where the tiles, the pattern is just slightly off
going
in
this
places.
way, and then it turns, and then it turns. So I mean, that was pretty standard with some of the stuff in his projects that he did here, and A.D. Davis did the renovation in 1718 of the church, the Presbyterian church, and we found some of those same type things when we were doing that. Thank you so much,
absolutely.
Reese. Come back in here in this shot. Thank you. We appreciate you guys. Beautiful work. Great job. Last thing. Now, you guys, funding wise, you got a grant from the state and from your donors of Flagler College. Can you give me a brief rundown of how that came together with your group lobbying with Tallahassee and making this happen? Because it doesn't happen without the money.
No, absolutely. I think the whole project ran us around $150 million was invested into this building. 70 million of that came from the state. We are just eternally grateful to the legislature and the governor in the state of Florida for investing in this property. We had the Secretary of State out here yesterday to walk the space and just reminded of the partnership that has taken place. It's really been a true public-private partnership. And then we had a lot of significant donors step up to help us fund the project. We, our chairman, John Rood, played just a key part in securing those funds from the state. So we, are very thankful to him and his work. And yeah, this has really been a partnership, like I said. So because the state invested so heavily in it, we have worked just step by step, hand in hand with the Division of Historical Resources. So they've had to review everything that's happened. They've spent hours and hours walking the building and reviewing the plans and looking at everything to ensure that we are following historical restoration guidelines, that we are in places that it's not feasible to keep the original, that we're replacing it with something that's historically accurate. And so there's been a lot of oversight from the state on this project too.
Perfect. All right. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. Wow, what amazing tour we just took. Thank you so much to Reese and Beth with Flagler. Just absolutely beautiful, the renovations. I can't believe how beautiful the rooms are. They were able to save those fireplaces. We're standing outside now in the courtyard, the beautiful courtyard of Flagler College. Some of you guys have never been inside here. This fountain is actually a sundial. If you make your way down here and you see the frog with the hand in his mouth, that's 12 o'clock. But I want to say thank you for you guys sticking with us. Make sure you're supporting our sponsors and stay in the now.